Right, on lunch break, and anybody who is looking to be a model at a reduced fee, listen up, particularly if you're living in Newbridge. So I know that I alluded to this last week, but there is another nurse who is now doing eyebrow microblading. She's in Newbridge in Kildare, and she is trained in the last month or so. She's had a very extensive training, the exact same training that Aisling, the nurse who works here in Browteak under the Aesthetic Clinic brand here with us. And the third nurse that is now trained is living in Newbridge and hopefully is going to serve the Browteak clients in the Midlands and in the Dublin area ongoingly. So her name is Nurse Debbie, and she is trained in the last month. And here's what I am looking for you. So just very briefly to give you a background history of Debbie. She is a little bit younger than me and a little bit older than Aisling. So therefore huge nursing experience, and she's not long left the hospital settings. In actual fact, she's very involved in the vaccination centres over the last year or so. So Debbie and I met last summer because I had put out an appeal at the time for nurses to train up and be able to serve our clients nationally. Aisling, as it happens, was kind of guilty. So, and I'm so happy because I'm able to cut back my days, and my clinic is still open six days a week. But there was another nurse from Cork City who answered that appeal, and there was one from Kildare, Newbridge also. And so it's Nurse Debbie. Okay, no different to Nurse Aisling. The course is a very intense 5-day course, very intense. And they have a lot of models to get through before they get their final certification. And models don't just happen by happenstance, because people are fearful of the work. And I have seen Aisling's work not long after she completed her intense course. And I remember saying to her at the time, oh my God, actually you're ready to get cracking. But you have to, and I couldn't have anybody work under the Browteak Ireland brand unless they have a minimum of 4 to 6 months continuous models and their assessments done and so on. So my appeal to you today is that if you're living in the Midlands, I have a nurse newly trained in eyebrow micropigmentation by hair stroke technique who is looking for models. So the thing about models is that you have the work done, you have the step 2 done with micropigmentation. It's usually 8 weeks apart in between. My fee for this kind of work is €580, but as a model fee, it's usually it's just under the 200 mark. The fee has to be settled at the very first visit, and the second step has to be done within 8 weeks of the first. You also have to agree to have your photographs taken. You also know in the knowledge that the person who is doing your eyebrows has done the foundation level of eyebrow micropigmentation, and that you're a model. You're not getting a professional fee because they're not professionals yet. As nurses, we were always trained that if you can't help, you don't harm. But for you, the general public, the good thing about knowing that you are a model with a professional nurse is that the health and safety, bloodborne pathogens, sterility, cross-contamination, so on, is second to none. So there is absolutely no risks going to be taken in relation to your safety. That's the first thing. Secondly, the level of the training that both of those nurses, both Nurse Aisling and Nurse Debbie, has gotten has been exemplary. It's 5 days intensive training. And they won't be properly ready to go until the submitted their model portfolios to their trainer, and a minimum of 4 to 6 months work on models before they can work under the Browtique brand, because obviously I want top notch. I have top notch, and I'm so excited that nurse number 3 is now trained up and will be able to serve the Midlands and the Dublin area in time. So my appeal to you is, if you're interested in being a model, if you're living in the Midlands, send us a DM here, and I will pass your information on to Nurse Debbie. She'll reach out to you in relation to sending in your photographs, your postal address to send out the patch test, and to arrange a date. So, yeah. Okay, so you have no idea how excited I am that Nurse Debbie is finally qualified and has done the intensive training. And it's only when you get hands-on faces that you get all the experience that you need. It's a bit like doing your driving test. You get your certificate to say that they deem you a safe person to drive, but it's only as life goes on that you actually get the experience and the confidence. And that's what she's looking for. So we're looking for models in the Midlands, models from Dublin who are happy to travel as far as Newbridge in Kildare. And I think Debbie is going to rent rooms in Kildare so that she can do the work there. And I know that Nurse Ashling used to use my rooms here on Sundays when I wasn't working, but Nurse Debbie actually has a premises that she can use. So yeah, good luck with that.